How can I forgive them? Hey guys, John here, and I want to talk today about forgiveness because the concept of forgiveness is something that people do struggle with. It's something that people have a tough relationship with, forgiveness. Well, there's a couple elements in this that we should talk about. To forgive something means you're focused in the past. You're looking at something that has happened, and you are now trying to forgive this event. And sometimes people were completely unloving and completely vicious and abusive, and really showing you a horrible circumstance. And in the Bible it talks about you must become as a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. Well, a child has no past. A child has no belief. And forgiveness has to begin with you saying, okay, that part of my life is over. Okay, that part of my life is over. I've had many people come to me and say, they were my soulmate. They were the love of my life, right? They were the love of my life. That is declaring there's nobody else that can come into your life that you can love as much. That is you declaring something. You are declaring that there is not a possibility of a greater love. It's also your declaration that you are going to constantly stay focused on that past experience, right? The Bible says you must be born again. That means you start over. You start something new. You step into a new direction. In my life, I have done so many different careers, and they've been varied. I've been a landscape designer. I was an actor. I was a comedian. I was doing stunts. I was a fight director. I was a college professor. I'm a YouTuber. I was a spiritual speaker. I was a corporate speaker. Every one of those changes was me setting the past down and starting something new. I was successful in all of them. The question then becomes is to forgive. Are you willing to drop the anchor? Are you willing to let it go? Because your experience is based completely around your beliefs. And if you believe that you can't let it go, and if you believe it's something you have to hold on to, then you are going to carry that as an anchor behind you that's going to hold you in place. You're not going to move forward in your life. The next part of this is the word forgiveness, right? I think it's misspelled. I know it's spelled correctly, but I think it's misspelled. I think it should be FORE-giveness. Forgiveness. You have to give it first. Because you don't have to like what they did. Right? You don't have to like what they did. But you have to give the release of it. You have to give the love to it. Okay? You were screwed up. You did something terrible to me. I'm letting it go. That is forgiveness. That is forgiveness. Most people think of forgiveness as coming back to a place of love for that person. Right? You don't have to like what they did. But if you truly want to love that person, then the greatest love you can do is walk away from them. Give them the consequence of not having the ability to have you in their life. Because you're pretty damn spectacular. And you go out into this world and you move forward and you say, I am creating a beautiful life. My father was not a nice man. But it wasn't until I said, he's a human too. And his father was an alcoholic abuser. And it was when that moment happened that I was like, okay. So he was struggling with his own fears and anxieties, and he was just doing the best he could with what he knew. And what he knew was abuse is what you did, because that's what his father did. So I had to give that release first. I had to give that release first. I had to forgive it, right? Before they gave it to me, I had to give it to them, right? It really comes down to your belief, right? If you feel like you've done something wrong to someone and you go back and you try to make amends and they don't accept it, you have to forgive that they're not accepting it. But you don't have to be anchored to they're not accepting it. That was their choice, right? You do all you can to make amends. Then at some point you have to realize that they're choosing something different than you. If someone in the past has done something horrible to you, right? The worst thing you could do is stay anchored to that traumatic event, because all you're doing is empowering that person and what they did. You're giving power to the trauma. You need to release the trauma. And the way you do that is to get very present. Whenever you have a horrible emotion, and I know a lot of people will, myself included actually, will have moments where you'll remember something in the past and you'll feel it. You'll feel how you felt in that moment, right? Well, if you have those moments where you feel and you get mad or frustrated or angry about that thing that happened back then, right? Change your subconscious belief about it by saying, oh, no, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm doing this. I'm letting that go. I'm releasing that, and I am living a joyful, happy life and creating something new and exciting. And see, when you start doing that, you start altering the subconscious belief behind you. And the subconscious belief behind you is a huge part of your life experience, because your life is a product of your belief. And the belief behind you, that subconscious belief, is just as creative. And if you catch yourself in those subconscious reactions to past experience and you begin to negate it and alter it, say, no, I'm not doing that, I am doing this, what happens is you are actually changing your subconscious belief. Because all your subconscious belief really is a collection of present moment memories, right? You create a new present moment that is positive. It gets stacked into your subconscious belief. Then you create another one. It gets stacked in your subconscious belief. You get a bad subconscious belief come up. You go, no. And you create a new moment of positive subconscious belief. What happens is your subconscious mind gets filled with positivity. And then those traumas, those past experiences, move further and further and further and further back and away from you. And then your experience is now filled with this positive subconscious belief. Now, you're consciously choosing positive. You're subconsciously choosing positive, and your life gets surrounded with positive experience. And when you realize that you have the ability, subconscious mind has two jobs. The first job is to collect present moment memories and give you an underlying belief from experience. And the second job is to show you what you're focused on. And I know I've used this example before. If you've ever bought a car and you decided what kind of car you wanted before you went to the store to buy it, you started seeing that car on the highway as you drove around. You started seeing it all over the place, right? That car started just popping up. Oh, there's that car again. Ooh, because your subconscious mind was showing you what you were focused on. Now, what if you could take that same subconscious mind and focus it on positive? Then your subconscious mind would then begin to show you things to be positive for. But you've got to forgive it. You've got to give that release ahead of time, because your experience is exactly that, yours. Your experience is exactly that, yours. So you have to choose what to believe, because your belief is your creation, and your creation is your experience. So forgive, give the release of attachment, let go of the past traumas. Because the more you focus on the past traumas, the more you empower the past traumas. The more you focus on a joyful future coming into your life, the more a joyful future will surround your life. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. The John of New channel is solely funded by your generous donations and purchases of private readings and merchandise. To help out, go to johnofnew.com or use the donation link in the description below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.